Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Doc's Debriefs, where I look through a recent engagement I had and break it down, see what I could learn, see what I could do better, see what I happen to do well. And so this time I am taking a look at a recent really fun fight that I had in the A-10A. So on Enigma's Cold War server, and it was on the Caucasus map, so early era tech, A-10A only gets 2 AIM-9s. And these are the AIM-9 Bravos. They're not really very good. And I was doing my best to fight in the mountainous region in order to take out some enemy depots there. And the whole while I was being hunted by just a whole bunch of enemies. Anyway, it turned out really quite fun, so let's jump into it. So here we are just after taking off. This isn't the dogfight that I particularly found all that interesting. This is just the start of the sortie. Do get an alert that we are being approached by a Mirage. The Mirage did have locks, so I flared and climbed. Did manage to avoid any shots. He is high above me here. I'm just talking to my wingman at this point, trying to coordinate our attack here. We are really close to our friendly defences, so we're probably in a good position, but they have really been hunting us. Do see a Vigan coming in on the tail of this lot, and so we decide that, well, the Vigan probably is better suited for this. We should probably not really be dealing with this, and so we decide to make a break for it. Just as we decide that, this plane slides in front of me. I suddenly identify that it's a Mirage. Try and get guns. Vigan slides in right on me. Realise that he's right on the tail of my wingman here. Candy tries to evade, but ends up going in. But the Mirage did bleed off a lot of his energy there. That just lined him up. Even a AIM-9B can catch a slow Mirage like that. So yeah, pretty busy start to the mission there, but got off the ground. Anyway, I've made it out of there, made it to the targets. This is where I'm trying to engage the targets that were found with recon. Get 2 Mavericks off on this little group of missile launchers. One of the missile launchers is actually a AAA, but that happens to be one that I locked up there. Alright, go give myself a little bit of distance to make another pass. It's a really awkward group on the side of the mountain. We can see there I start to get seriously merged with 4 planes at this point, all just above me. So I'm trying to look around while lining up for the attack again, really quite nervous but rather determined to get my missiles off. I did go for a lighter load this time. I just have Mavericks, don't have any kind of bombs. Do run into some issues here that the Maverick just desperately wants to lock on the door of that tower rather than anything else. Blow past F5. Again, getting no luck there. Finally give up with the Maverick and just go for guns. Already taken out the AAA defending this. And these are MLRSs, so really easy to take out with guns. Pass back over, still getting multiple merge calls, just rather desperate to clean this up if I can. Not the greatest run there, but do manage to spray across them and take them out. Then heading back in. So again, just been keeping low. The enemy fighters haven't found me yet. So I go in on this last one, just have to kind of aim around the mirror net here. Do finally get a hit. Turn to evade, and this is where the dogfight proper starts. So as soon as I'm turning, there was one right on my nose there. I think I actually didn't notice the albatross crossing my nose, but there was one there. And again, fighters all around me here, multiple different angles. And so at this point I just go full on defensive. I don't have any wingmen. Out here mostly on my own, although the occasional friendly fighter is coming in. This guy gets a couple of hits on me. Nothing bad, nothing the A-10 can't take. But as I'm pulling up, I don't really have the nose authority there, and by the time I get my nose onto him, this is the kind of angle that an A-9B just won't even try. So I go for guns instead, end up whiffing it, really not giving it enough lead there. And as I'm coming around, there's just always another plane at my rear. So I think I'm on a fish bed here, there's a Mirage in the area, I've got an Albatross behind me. My main plan at this point is just to keep turning. I stopped the turn there just to evade that plane that was going head on with me. But my kind of feeling here is if I keep turning sharply with the Caucasus map missile set, the enemy probably don't really have the missiles to really hit a sharply turning A-10, even if I'm not flaring. Other tactics here is I'm just trying to keep low, mostly because I know there are Mirages and fish beds, I know they've got radar, and I am very worried about someone getting a radar lock from range. Do see a friendly Viggen here, which does cheer me up quite a bit. Ideally I'd like to get out of here, but right now I can't risk extending without just getting shot down. So I see this inverted Mirage crossing my nose, and he heads away rather sharply. Then there is a Mirage much closer. The Viggen that was on his tail just explodes, so I decide, okay, might be up to me. And luckily this Mirage has really slowed down with a couple of aggressive turns there, and so I get my missile off. There we go, get the splash, and that was Hez. Sorry Hez, shut you down there. But I am very much not out of the woods here. I am still in a turn fight with multiple hostiles. See a fish bed here, coming in hot. I try and get guns on there, doesn't work. I am getting pretty low on guns. I am now out of sticks. This fish bed just misses his gunshot, but I manage to get a good chunk of him as he crosses my nose. And then as he bleeds off speed going vertical, he just makes the perfect target there. Overshooting is really the risk that all of these planes run whenever they're engaging the A-10. The A-10 can whip its nose up quite heavily, and even without missiles, the A-10 is pretty deadly. So I was feeling pretty happy at this point. Really outnumbered multiple enemies, but managed 3 total kills and took out this ground set. Now, again, not out of the woods at this point, continuing to try and turn. I do have friendly F5s in the area who are trying to help me out, but we have hostile fishbed and mirages. I really should have got that hit, but didn't manage it. Just again, trying to keep up the turn here. I am really making it difficult for them. Nice thing about the A-10 is it's got a tiny turn radius, which makes this kind of hilly environment really good, because I can do a complete turn in this valley. The other jets really can't, so they're having to go for one pass then abandon it. Now here I see this MiG-21 cutting over my head. I try and go for guns on him. And here the main problem is I've not been watching my speed. I've kind of been actively ignoring my stall warning because it's just been going off continuously. F5's over my head there. Notice something behind me, shooting, turn really hard and just a tad too hard there. Too low speed, too sharp a turn. And so I finally go down. Rue does get the kill for that, for hitting me with guns. But yeah, really good fight. Really had a lot of fun there. The A-10 is really dangerous on the Caucasus map in this kind of mountainous environment. So let me know what you thought. If you think you have any tips, anything that I could do better, please do let me know. and otherwise I hope to catch you in a future episode. Until then, remember to be kind to yourselves and everyone else. Cheers!